Gift for the Magi. Dear friends and family, Christmas is just around the corner, and I find myself pondering gifts for family and friends. Gift-giving always gives me a lift because it's a way to be intimate, but not too intimate. It's a way to say, I care about you, without resorting to mawkish greeting card phrases. That's what a gift is, after all, a token of love. Gift-giving invites us to consider the springs of happiness that trickle through another person's mind. When I was a kid, I related to the baby of the Christmas story, or maybe the sheep, and I could smell the straw in the manger and hear the chorus of angels in the night sky. Later, I saw myself in the shepherds tending their flocks, and how they put aside their work for a special occasion. And still later I began to understand the parents, and how the hopes and fears of all the years were bundled into that bundle in the manger. But now I have grown old, and I relate to the old guys, the Magi of the Christmas story, the 3 wise men. Not that I have become wise with years, just that I have become thin-haired, wrinkly, and wheezy. Age itself imparts experience and a sense of perspective that resembles wisdom, even if it amounts to nothing more than the accumulation of folly. Some folks claim that the tradition of gift-giving at Christmas arises from the act of homage by the Magi, and, okay, I can go along with that, even if I feel certain that the impulse needs no explanation in legend. The Judeo-Christian outlook insists that things must have a beginning. So, okay, let's say gifting began with Melchior, Balthazar, and Caspar, 3 supposedly wise men who anticipated the birth of the Messiah and honored the child with luxuries of the day, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And those special gifts show how special was the child. Well and good. The usual story. But I am beginning to suspect that we got that all backwards, because the babe didn't need exotic gifts. It was the old men who needed something, needed it bad enough to endure a long desert trek in the depths of winter, needed maybe a sense of hope, a sense of the goodness still flowing through life, a return of warmth to their weary old bones. Babies remind us not only that we are loved, but that we are still capable of love. The old men needed to be reminded that their worn-out hearts could still squeeze out feelings of wonder, reverence, and compassion. The Magi received the real gift that winter night in the lamplit stable. A good gift speaks to the needs of the recipient. One of my best gifts ever came from my mom, Natch, who knew me as the bookish nerd I was, hiding an introvert behind a jaunty baseball cap and grass-stained T-shirt. So she got me a subscription to a Book of the Month Club. And what a universe of delights that became. One month I got a novel about a spy who deciphered a top-secret message that led to buried treasure. The next month, a cowboy adventure, driving dogies on the lone prairie. And the month after that, an astronaut who landed among Martians that lived like hummingbirds on nothing but rosewater. That book club led to the library, and a shelf stacked with children's classics. The Jungle Book, Swiss Family Robinson, Grimm's Fairy Tales, Gulliver's Travels, 1001 Arabian Nights, and other tales to fire a kid's imagination. Mom, although the grave separates us, in my mind nothing will ever separate us, and I kiss you from the heights and depths of my soul. Not every gift can be as fitting as books for the bookish. We miss as often as we hit the mark when we launch our gifts like arrows of desire. I have received gifts that clearly belonged to someone else, like a pair of socks embroidered with violets, when what I needed desperately was a new first baseman's mitt. And I have given gifts that failed utterly, like the time I gave Mom a set of nifty interlocking bowls, when what she needed desperately was a hug, and socks with violets. Gifting sometimes resembles tuning an old radio knob in hopes of catching a signal from Mars. The key to gift-giving lies in the effort to enter another person's mind and try to understand their deepest, perhaps unspoken, desires. Sometimes a gift fits a gap like a piece of jigsaw puzzle locking into place, like the time I returned from my first visit to the big city, Chicago, and brought Mom from Marshall Fields a set of orange-shaped and orange-scented soaps, wrapped in green tissue and set in a small wooden orange crate, and I thought it was just nice soap. But it brought tears to my mother's eyes because it was special and made her feel special. Sometimes a fitting gift astounds, like the time Aunt Velma unwrapped her Christmas present and fell over herself with effusive thanks to Mom and Dad for handing her just the right gift, a carton of Cools. Timing, says the age-old saw, is everything. The erector set, which would have delighted one year, sinks as dross the next. The Barbie doll one year delivers intimations of sophistication, and the next year offends as babyish nonsense and an affront to budding womanhood. The gag gift of cane and hearing trumpet when you're 50 makes you gag when you're 70. An otherwise good thing must arrive in good time. The proudest moment I ever had at Christmas was when I unwrapped a pine green box to discover inside a genuine Boy Scout pocket knife. Real steel, a razor-sharp edge, not a toy. I remember earning a merit badge in whittling, and how the scoutmaster taught us the basic safety tips, to always cut away from yourself, never toward yourself, and to keep the blade clean and sharp. The sharper the blade, the safer the tool. I swelled with pride at the thought that I could possess and carry in my pocket such a proof of responsibility. It represented my bar mitzvah. I had put aside toyhood for boyhood. In the end, the thing which is the gift does not matter. What matters is the giving, the impulse behind the gift, the Q&A of wants and needs and hopes. What matters is our sheepish, tongue-tied, stuttering, throat-clearing, mawkish stab at saying, "I love you." Merry Christmas to all you Magi, and to us who received the magic. Gary.